Hi, this is just a short video on a manual chain oiler which I made. Very simple, cost about 30 quid, and the largest expense was the oil that I bought. The oil that I'm using for this is that one. It's an 80W transmission fluid for a manual gearbox for a car, or you can use ATF automatic transmission fluid, either of which I've looked into, googled as you do, and found that are both suitable oils for bike chains. Now a quick setup here is this is like a brake fluid or clutch fluid reservoir for a forklift truck, which I bought for about 4.5 quid thereabouts. Made a simple little bracket. Actually found that piece of metal on the floor, and there was already a hole in the frame, so I didn't have to drill anything. I just literally put that screw and a nut on the back of it, and of course a little Jubilee clip to hold it all together. And on the bottom of that, well, it already had an outlet pipe down below here, which I slightly modified and added a 6mm to 4mm irrigation reducer. I glued that in with epoxy glue and added to it a silicone tubing with a 4mm diameter, and held it there together with a little zip tie strap. That pipe then comes through and underneath here. Here's the chain rail at the bottom, so it's nowhere near the chain rail. Comes underneath there to the first of two of these irrigation valves. Currently the arrow showing upwards, it's in the off position. So all I need to do is, when I'm going to be set to riding the bike, I just turn that to the horizontal plane, and just turn it round to 90 degrees, and Bob's your uncle. It starts then to feed the oil just naturally through the pipe, and it goes through then to the second, which is the flow regulator. I've already set that currently, and I checked it yesterday. It flows at a rate of 1 minute and 10 seconds per drop to the chain. That passes round to the back, and at the other side here, held on by these two tie straps, I've got this lovely little contraption. I'm going to quickly whiz you around so I can show you that very swiftly. And if I zoom into that little bit there, there's the bracket. Notice it's made out of the spring that I made there. I've coiled it up. It's made out of coat hanger wire, which is strong enough to resist any wind blowing against it or anything like that. The little metal bar across there is because there is a seam lip on this swing arm. It's just to fill that out and apply that pressure against the top part, the rectangular part of the little metal bracket which I made. That then goes down to the drip pipe, which we'll see in a moment, of through the other side. So if I bring it back to here, we should hopefully, I can find it, there we go, see where it's coming out. Now that's probably about an inch maybe off the chain itself. Sorry, it's a little bit shaky. I'll try and steady that motion. And what's in there is that is a zip tie that's been cut, folded in half, poked up the pipe, held on with the blue zip tie, and spread out so that it angles towards either side of the chain. So the important thing to do here is be mindful that the chain is actually, of course, the bike being supported on its center stand is slack at the bottom end. So making allowance here for when the bike is down on its wheels, and also for any suspension travel and any bounces as you go down the road. You know, you're going to hit various bumps and lumps and stuff like that, and that bottom part of the chain is going to flex and bounce with it. So as it does, there's sufficient enough allowance in that gap there. That would probably go up by about, I would say, a good 1/4 of an inch, maybe a bit more, and yet not high enough that it's going to be hitting the tubing. So that's it, plain and simple little chain oiler. The thing with it is that you know, you do these, it's different for every bike. The little bit of tape that you see over the top here is because this reservoir has a pinhole in the top, and you actually need that pinhole because if it was sealed vacuum shut, the oil wouldn't flow down because it works on gravity. So air gets to it, into it, allowing the oil to then flow through to the bottom under gravity through the pipes, and then all I need to do is remember to turn that little valve off. It's simple irrigation garden valve, and that's it. Because if you forget to do that, you'll find when you get back to your bike, all the oil would have drained out and it'll be in a nice puddle all over the floor. There we go. Thank you very much.